leading off the quarterback news, and there are some noteworthy quarterback news. Justin Fields, obviously his value, you would have to assume that this would increase his value. DJ Moore being shipped to the Bears. And my first comment on when I saw all the pieces to this trade, I mean, obviously I was like, okay, that's a legit receiver for Fields to be throwing to. That's potentially great for him. Can you believe how much the Bears gave up for this? Does it seem like a massive haul to you, or did I read it wrong?
Do you mean the Panthers? Like how much they gave up?
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yes. I mean, like just like the picks and everything else. Doesn't it just seem insane?
And a wide receiver one? Absolutely. The 9th overall pick, a 2023 second rounder, a 2024 first rounder, and a 2025 second rounder as well. And DJ Moore.
And DJ Moore, who's a like really good wide receiver. It just when I saw it, I was like, that must, I don't know. I'm not a GM. It seemed like not a balanced trade to me.
I feel like the Bears fleeced him. I mean, maybe the Panthers truly love. Like, obviously, this league does come down to the quarterback. You need your franchise guy. So I do applaud them. Like, if you have a guy in this class that you want this to be your cornerstone for the next decade here, I get why the Panthers are going for it. You need that QB to have a shot to win. So I get why they go all in.
So you think they're hunting Bryce Young or something?
They must love him. CJ Stroud had a great combine. We'll do a combine winners losers show eventually because I need to dive into that a bit more myself. But yes, just as a trade level, I think this was a huge win for the Bears. I think they got a ton for this first pick. And we're not the first to bring up this comparison, but think about the Texans here going for 2, and they had the number 1 all locked up.
That was awesome.
But they'll always
but they had fired the guy. This is such a lesson. I was talking to my wife who could give 2 shits about football, and I was explaining to her what happened when this happened in real time in week 18. And she was just, she has many employees that work for her. And she was just like, this is why once you fire somebody, you don't let them hang around.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, I don't think Lovie Smith's any good or anything, but props to him.
Yeah, screwing the franchise. I mean, this truly could set your franchise back like a decade, given the haul. You look at what the Bears got, and now the Texans at least will always have that 1-point win against the Colts that meant absolutely nothing. It looks like Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. We see this happen time and time again.
Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf.
There's an art of tanking, and they just did not know what to do the right way. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, just one pick can change everything, and you see what the Bears got, and man, it's just asinine that the Texans did not lose that game. But let's break down the fantasy implications here, because I think they are absolutely massive for Justin Fields, and that's why you're all here. Look no further, and I know it's such an easy dot to connect to Josh Allen gets Stephon Diggs 2 years ago. Jalen Hurts gets A.J. Brown last year. But it sometimes doesn't have to be rocket science. You got a mobile threat with a cannon arm. Justin Fields was a top 5 deep passer across the last 5 years when he entered the league. Only Mac Jones of that class had a better deep accuracy, and only Joe Burrow amongst the past 5 years before that had a better deep accuracy grade than what Fields had his senior year coming into the NFL. He had a great season slinging the ball deep. So I know he gets tons of props, deservedly so, as a runner, Justin Fields. I mean, he just broke his own record in back-to-back weeks, going 140 yards one week, then 178 yards on the ground, and almost broke Lamar Jackson's record. If he played the entire season, I guarantee you he would have broken that record. He saved my fantasy season. He became an absolute godsend. If you had Justin Fields, you know he was a cheat code last year, and his number 1 weapons for half the year were Dante Pettis and Equanimeous St. Brown. So this is going to be enormous for him. It really does remind me so much, and reminds everybody of Jalen Hurts, where he was a monster his first year starting and then became a legitimate cheat code the next year when you add A.J. Brown. We harped on that all last year. I said I'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Lamar Jackson for so long last year, and obviously that ended up
that was the correct take, 100%.
It was a great take. One of our best ones of last year is how we were on Jalen Hurts, and I honestly do not see much of a difference here, other than maybe the play calling quality. We don't know fully yet. How
I think
good
that
Luke Getsy going to be.
I think Hurts is a little more level-headed. From what I've seen, he's actually surprisingly poised out there. That impressed me as the year went on. I have not seen that from Fields. It's not like I've seen an absence of that necessarily from Fields, but I don't feel like he's proven that by any means. We're going to find out.
As like a winner too. Like he never won those big. He kept them competitive every game, but then just didn't
running for
maybe that was the
150
art of
yards or
taking.
whatever.
He-
Right.
but
He's got a lot to prove. This receiver, you know, we've seen him pass a little. Like, I mean, his passing is not like amazing, but we've seen him just put up fantasy points like crazy. We're going to find out now how good a passer he is, because he does have a legitimate wide receiver one he can throw to now. And you know, if he can hit him with any, I mean, the Carolina quarterback situation was abysmal, and Moore still got his.
And he's still ranked since 2019, top 7 in receiving yards, top 7 in targets, top 13 in fantasy points. And as you said, with pure crap throwing to him, DJ Moore. So this is huge that you know, for him just to get Justin Fields, which, as you said, not fully proven yet as a passer. He's made some very impressive throws to some horrendous
really
level.
He's good.
So I think this is going to be very much like we saw with Jalen Hurts going from 3,100 passing yards to 3,700 the next year. I don't think it's going to be a Josh Allen going from 3,000 to 4,500, any type of leap like that, just because I don't think they're going to air it out at nearly that clip. But I think breaking the rushing record for quarterbacks is still in Justin Fields' play, while you now boost the ceiling as a passer, which is the exact recipe that led from Hurts going to a round 5-ish quarterback to being a cheat code. I think right now you see Justin Fields going late 3rd, early 4th in these best ball drafts. And he should be much, much closer to where Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, they're going rep picks, 15, 16, mid-second. I love just passing on those guys and then taking Fields a full round later. I can stack up to a receiver, a running back, and then get Fields. Boom. I don't think there's much of a gap in terms of fantasy production for these guys now that he has DJ Moore.
Agreed.
I'm just so excited for this. You look on the flip side of things, too, it's certainly less exciting for the Panthers. I'll recap that real quick. This is one of the biggest stories. This is why we're diving into this one. There's some of these what we'll say means nothing, move forward. This is not one of them. But for the Panthers, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, whoever it ends up being, they're going to be walking into a pretty shitty fantasy spot, at least to start. I like Frank Reich. I think he is a good offensive mind, but who are they going to be throwing to? You're left with now Terrace Marshall, Laviska Shenault. None of them are quality number 2s, never mind number 1 wide receivers in the NFL. Sure, they're probably going to keep adding at the position, but they don't have a ton of draft capital to put a real true splash into there. So we'll see what they do around Stroud or Bryce Young. We can't really speculate till we know who's going in there. We just know it's not going to be a great situation, at least in year 1. We'll see from there. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.